Welcome to our Customer Portal tutorial. The Customer Portal has the ability to integrate with QuickBooks, allowing you to easily export invoices and credit memos to your QuickBooks Online or QuickBooks Desktop for Windows software. In this tutorial, we will demonstrate the steps you will complete to set up Customer Portal integration with QuickBooks Desktop. This video specifically shows the QuickBooks Desktop steps. They are slightly different than the QuickBooks Online steps. Please refer to the QuickBooks Online video if that is the version used. Before we begin, it is important to note that only customer users with administrator permissions will be able to use the QuickBooks integration features. To begin, log into the Customer Portal website. You can access the QuickBooks integration from two places, from My Account or hovering over My Links. Please note, if the home screen looks different from the first example, you will click on My Account and then click on QuickBooks integration. The QuickBooks setup will display the two versions, Desktop and Online. Choose QuickBooks Desktop. You will need to create a username and password. Then enter a preferred email address to receive further setup instructions. The username and password used here creates a connection between the Customer Portal website and the QuickBooks Desktop application. You will need to remember this password as it is needed to import your invoices into QuickBooks. We will discuss this in more depth later in the video. Click the Connect to QuickBooks button. This will open the QuickBooks Setup page. It will also send an email from our location with an attached document with setup instructions. Follow these additional steps to complete setup. Once the connection has been established, you will be able to export invoices from the Customer Portal to QuickBooks. We will discuss how to export invoices later in this video. Next, let's look at the custom settings that are available. From the QuickBooks settings page, you will have the options to disconnect the integration and apply QuickBooks and sync settings. It is important to note these settings will need to be established before invoices can be sent to QuickBooks. Click the vendor drop-down and choose the vendor name you created in the QuickBooks system for our location. Next, click the AP account drop-down and choose the desired AP account. Then click Apply Changes. The next section allows the creation of line items in the invoice at a summary and line item level. Here's an example of an invoice using the summary level. Choosing the summary section options will ensure that the bill entered in QuickBooks does not have the parts detail. It will group the parts total into one line, the merchandise total, on the bill. The summary section will display the category choice selected and a total amount for all items on the invoice. Here is an example of a line item invoice. The line item level will display each individual item on the invoice, but group them under the products and services choice that was selected. From the category drop-down, choose the desired category, then click Apply Changes. You can also choose to designate taxes on the invoice. If you do not wish to track tax as a separate category in QuickBooks, tax can be mapped to the same category that is picked for items. Once the summary or line item level is set as desired, click Apply Changes. From the QuickBooks Settings page, click the Sync Invoices drop-down menu in the Sync Settings area. There are two options, Sync All or Sync Manually. If Sync All is chosen, exported invoices are added to the queue and require an additional step to complete the export. We will review how to set up the QuickBooks Desktop import settings in just a moment. If Sync Manually is chosen, you will manually send each individual invoice in the Customer Portal website to QuickBooks. Manually exported invoices are also added to the queue and require an additional step to complete the export. The same options are available for credit memos. Once the desired choices are selected, click the Apply Changes button. To manually send an invoice to QuickBooks, from the Customer Portal homepage, click Orders and Invoices. Please note, If the home screen looks different from the first example, you will click on My Account and then click on Invoices. Click the Invoices tab, click the desired order number, and click the Send to QuickBooks button. You will receive a green success message. Please note that if an invoice has already been sent to QuickBooks, the button will read Resend to QuickBooks. Resending a bill will remove the prior duplicate entry from QuickBooks. This will export the invoice to a queue and require an additional step to complete the export. We will review this additional step of how to set up the QuickBooks Desktop import settings next. From the QuickBooks Desktop, click File. Then click Update Web Services. The connection should already be established. If it is not, you will need to complete the connection setup instructions you received by email. If the password field is blank, you will need to insert the password you previously created, which was used to connect QuickBooks in the Customer Portal website. Once the password is entered, a pop-up box will appear. Click Yes to save changes. Now that the connection has been completed, you have the option to set up an auto-run import or import manually. To import manually, check the select box and click the Update Selected button. To set up auto-run, check the auto-run box. Next, set the Every Min column to the desired amount of time. QuickBooks will auto-run at the selected time interval and pull any documents that were waiting in the queue. This concludes the tutorial on Customer Portal integration for QuickBooks Desktop. If you need further assistance, please reach out to your sales representative.